Welcome, Bills Mafia, to Bills or Bust, the podcast dedicated to all things Buffalo Bills. I'm Tom Murphy. Join in as we talk about the Buffalo Bills, of course, and also the other 31 teams in the league that will watch us win the Super Bowl or bust. Hey. Welcome, Bills Mafia, to another edition of Bills or Bust podcast. I'm Tom Murphy, and today it's a very special episode. Have one of my, some people would say we're good buddies. I prefer to say we're just mere acquaintances. Today, I have the host of NBA Today on Sirius Radio, Justin Termine. Justin, how's it going?
Thomas, I got to tell you, I've worked with a lot of professionals in my career throughout the last 15 to 20 years. That introduction right there, I mean, you're as smooth as some of these guys that are pulling in big bucks in regards to hosting programs. And I've listened in the past. I haven't alerted you to that, but I've heard many of the past episodes. And you continue to get better as week goes by. So just a fantastic talent. I'm glad to finally get the invite here to join you.
Wow, Justin, thank you so much. I had to check my calendar. I was thinking, April Fool's was last week.
Yes, I know, Thomas, I do. And I figured I saw you here. It's been a while since I saw you, and you don't look good. So I figured I would try and give you a compliment to make you feel better about yourself.
Well,
because the way you look right now, there's no way you could feel good about yourself.
Indeed. But, it's just you get used to it as time goes on. But as I said, you look great. You look like you just came from Easter dinner in your green hooded sweatshirt. The family must have been really proud to have you at the table representing the family.
No, they were happy that you actually scheduled this so I could get away for a little bit and actually enjoy each other.
But excellent. Actually, no, and to be fair, it's we like to give each other a lot of grief. It's just what we do. It is pretty amazing to have you on. You're definitely the biggest quote unquote celebrity we've had.
Then why can I just ask you a question? Then why has it taken you so long? Like I heard one a couple of weeks ago with Matt Flynn. So you had Matt Flynn on before me. Is there a reason why it took you so long to get me on?
And I invited my mailman on before I asked you. Wanted to have him on before I had you on, but
why don't you try having a woman on at some point then? I mean, you got the mailman, the guy at the bodega, Matt Flynn. Have a female on.
Well, yeah, you know how intimidated I am by women. But no, seriously, and I did want to address this with you. I was definitely going to ask you in the summer when I figured you'd have more time. I literally, not to boost your ego too much, I literally would not think you would have had time during the NBA season to come on our podcast.
So let me get this straight. You were going to wait to ask me until the summer.
Yes.
Then instead of asking me at any point during the regular season, you said, hey, let's have him on the day before the postseason begins, the busiest time of the year. This is literally the busiest time of the year for me, is the postseason begins this week. And that's when you asked to have me on, not to mention on Easter Sunday.
I know. Well, I knew if there was one person that you would make time for, it would be me. So I do appreciate it. And,
you're welcome.
No, it is a treat. We've known each other for about 14 years now, I think. It seems longer.
It definitely seems longer. Now, what made you come up with 14? Like typically, 15 years, 20 years, 10 years, you round things. You said 14. Do you have a specific date when we met?
Yeah, I think it was July 2009. We met with our good buddy Ryan Shibley at a beer garden in Astoria. I marked it on my calendar because I knew it was a special day.
It changed your life forever.
I know. It's just a special human entered my life today.
Well, let's do something like this every 14 years when we get together over Zoom.
Exactly, yeah. I'm surprised you think I'd be alive in 14 years.
Well, that's why I'm saying 14. I know I won't have to do it
again. Oh, man. That's classic Termine. And also, you are definitely an NBA expert. You've kind of swayed away from the NFL landscape probably decades ago.
I only talk about things that I only do things I'm paid to do. So that's watching NBA. That's why I haven't been on a date in a while. No girls paying me to do it. So so it's just NBA for me. No NFL, no Masters this week. None of it.
God, I would love to see the girls that would pay to go on a date with you. No, yeah. I figured it'd be the opposite. You empty out your Venmo account for, just 5 minutes of coffee talk.
Oh, exactly. No, to speak with women.
All right. So, as you are a longtime listener, of the past few months, we start every show with the answer to last week's trivia question. And last week we asked, who is the Bills' all-time leader in interceptions? Do you have a guess right at the top of your head?
What's the Andre? What's his last name there?
Andre Reed, the wide receiver, leads the Bills all-time in interceptions.
Oh, I thought you said receptions.
No, interceptions.
Yeah,
no.
So you didn't enunciate that correctly. As one broadcaster to another, you got to enunciate better, Thomas. I thought you said receptions.
Oh yes, good save. But it's no. You're right. Maybe I do run my words a little bit together. I have a lot to learn from you, Justin.
Now give the answer.
The answer is Butch Bird, who was a legend back in the '60s with 40, and nobody on the team now is even close to matching that number.
Did anybody answer that correctly? Did anybody win?
We're going to find out pretty soon,
And what do they win? They don't have to listen to the podcast for a couple of straight weeks. Nice reward.
Nice reward, yes. So now you have to listen for the next few weeks because you did not get it right.
Oh God, it's going to be a tough couple of weeks. All right, Thomas.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you might have to miss some games here in the future because it's like, oh yeah, sorry, can't watch Philadelphia and Detroit. I'm just going to guess they're going to be a playoff matchup in the NBA.
Philadelphia, Detroit's actually got the worst record in the NBA, so they're not going to make the postseason.
Really?
Yeah,
really. Even with Richard Hamilton and Chauncey Billups.
Yeah, no, those guys they're a little old now, so yeah, they struggle.
I think they're like our age.
Much better shape, but yes.
Than both of us, you mean, right? Not just.
No, they're in much better shape than me, and much, much, much better shape than you. Yes,
that would be fair. That would be fair. But your experience with the Bills, you grew up a Giants fan, if I'm not mistaken.
Exactly. So I do remember Scott Norwood. Yes. One of the great days of my life. And it would have been better if I had known the impact that it had on you. I didn't know you yet, but if I knew you, I would have celebrated that moment even more.
Yeah, you would have been, I'm guessing you would have been 9 years old then. And if you just knew like years later you were going to be meeting a diehard Bills fan who still like has not lived that down. That game was 30 plus years ago. But
you've been drinking ever since. How many beers did you pound that night?
Even at age 11, I was sneaking my mom's Michelobes. They didn't even have Ultra then; it was actual Michelob.
Actual Michelobes.
But you have come to meet me twice while watching Bills games.
I have
to Bar 43, yeah. And while we joke a lot, I do enjoy your company. You're like one of my closest, friends of a friend.
Yes, through somebody else, exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, I always enjoy your company, but you do, you have a tendency when like an important play is going, like you decide to actually like talk to me and ask like serious questions, which you don't do.
Yeah.
In like,
Tom, why are you so stupid? Tom, stuff like that, correct?
Exactly. Yeah. Like, just like, Tom, why are you so stupid? And it's like, I could ignore those questions, but, during the Bills games, you'd be like, oh, yeah, so Tom's like, yeah, how did everything go with that? And it's like, 3rd and 2 going, like with 5 minutes left. And I'm just like, dude, stop it. And there was the one time I remember Bills were playing the Panthers in week 2. And most Bills fans listening will remember that being the Panthers beat us 9-3. And I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. And having zero interest in this game, possibly other than to see me upset at the Bills. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think you did say, and I didn't even realize, he was just like, dude, that was like the most boring game ever. Because it was like, 3 field goals to 1 field goal. And I kind of like put things in perspective, like, oh yeah, to a non-Bills fan, that game just must have been an absolutely dreadful experience. So I am glad you came out for that one.
Yeah, and I mean, it was even worse for me because I was listening to you talk the entire time. But really, the attraction. Have you had your father on the podcast before? Because that's somebody that got the Bills' knowledge. He's got the Bills' history, and he's very fun to speak with because that's who I'm like. Whenever I go out to these Bills games with you, you'll say this person's coming, that person's coming, this person's coming. A lot of different people are coming to this event, these events. But I just want to know: is your father coming? And if your father's coming, then I'm in as well. I'm coming as well.
That is true. Yeah, he always enjoys your company. Yeah, I knew you two would get along well. I'm going to have to ask him if he'd want to be on this podcast. I do have to admit, my dad, he's going to be 70 years old this summer, and he's very untechnologically savvy. I think he does have a Zoom account. He would not even, I don't even know if he knows how to set it up. I think his girlfriend actually does that. And I just might ask him if he'd like to be on sometime. I just, the whole technical aspect, I think he might be really lost on.
So you're on a podcast where you have a very big reach, and you're downplaying your father's intelligence level. This is a guy that raised you. This is a guy that I've spoken to, and I think you're not giving him enough credit, because when we go out to these games, we're having in-depth conversations.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, I'm not saying he's an unintelligent guy, and he would definitely agree. You know, there are people of a certain age that we know that somehow the new technological advances. I can even include myself in that. I'm not good with
the toothbrush.
Exactly, a toothbrush. So not the shampoo, because I might still.
You do have nice hair, Thomas. It's one of the only reasons I've maintained the friendship.
I know, yeah. It's the one thing that's actually stayed true. Like, I used to have that, and also my eyesight.
Yeah.
And now I'm starting to notice my eyesight is starting to like wane a little bit. I had perfect eyesight probably up until about a month ago.
Yeah.
And it's like, so now it's just hair.
So now you'll have something in common with all the girls that date you. They can't see very well. There's no way they got vision if they're going out with you.
Yes. Yes. Oh, you always know what to say. But yeah, no, I could agree with you. But no, it's the hair. You know, going to be 44 pretty soon. I'm still rocking that. Even
that's amazing.
If I can't say the same for my vision, well, I haven't turned 44 yet.
I notice you're always like, your father is going to be 70. You're going to be 44. Typically, isn't that something like a 5-year-old does? Like, I'm going to be this age. Doesn't like an adult say, you know, I'm 42, I'm 33, I'm 15. They don't say what they're going to be.
So you would prefer that I say like, oh, I'm 43 in 10 months.
No, just say you're 43.
43.
And when is it? June 3rd is your birthday?
Yeah, you can send. That's when you can send the death threat on Facebook, as you do every year.
Off the top of yeah, exactly. Instead of cutting the cake, cut your wrists. Instead of blowing out the candles, blow out your brains. If you had any, I don't use that one with you because you don't have any brains.
Ooh,
yes, along those lines.
Exactly. Yeah, you need to be accurate. But it is funny. Yeah, I do have to mention. No, it's June 4th. But yeah, you can definitely leave a message on June 3rd. That way I'll miss it. But yeah, Justin, he's very infamous. I actually look forward to this. It always cracks me up. Probably for the past 6+ years, every year on my birthday, you know, I never check Facebook anymore. But when I do, it's usually, you know, on my birthday because I love attention.
Yeah, of course.
You know, and you know, people from my past, you know, they get the invite, and it actually now has the button you can actually press that says you don't even have to type happy birthday anymore.
Oh, really? I haven't been on Facebook for a couple of years other than to harass you, so I didn't realize that.
Exactly. You don't even have to type happy birthday, and it actually gives you the option on somebody's birthday to just
really type. Does it put an exclamation point at the end?
Yeah, actually an emoji of some sort, like a celebration emoji, which is awesome. I mean, I still like simply do not have time to send to everybody a, you know, happy birthday on Facebook. And even though I know that's going to take 2 seconds, I just don't want to do it. So I'll like go on Facebook, read. That was the first year, like probably 2016, let's just say. And it's just like, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. All of a sudden I get to yours. Then it says, happy birthday, Tom. I hope it's your last.
Unfortunately, it was not. It was not.
Yeah.
Had about 7 cents.
Exactly. I know. Exactly. Yeah. You can't stop me. I'm indestructible, bro. I think I messaged you right away, and I'm like, Justin, seriously, I've been laughing about that and I hate giving you credit, but I had to tell you.
You had to for that one. That was
I was just like, dude, I've been laughing for about like 5 minutes. So
the thing that concerned me is how many likes it got. A lot of people liked that.
Most of my family hearted it and retweeted it. Finally, the truth. Someone said it. Yes, my grandma was like, wow, he says what I'm thinking.
Yeah, exactly. The one person in the family that can think, and she thinks like me.
And then here's the thing. I think it's like 2 years later. You wrote the one that you said is just like, instead of using the knife to cut the cake, use it to cut your wrists.
Yeah.
And I like laughed in a way. It's kind of like, not his best one, but it still made me
Well,
chuckle.
next time I'd like you not to laugh at it and maybe think about actually doing what I'm telling you.
Yes, take it as an order, not as a.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, one of my personal favorites was it was like the next time we come around to celebrate you on your birthday, I hope it's around your coffin.
Yeah, that was a good one too. I forgot. Next time next time we're celebrating something that has to do with you, hopefully instead of a cake, we're celebrating around a coffin.
I know. Yeah, I'm
A lot
glad
of people like that one too. I really do say a lot of things that we as your friends, we get together, we talk about that stuff. I just say it to you. The other guys say it behind your back.
Yes, exactly.
Ryan, Flynn.
Exactly. They all know they do. But yeah. Oh no, that's hilarious. But yeah, I always get a kick out of that. So yeah, you say this is a busy time for you. You got the playoffs coming up, and I hope you're able to talk about this. You got to mention. I know one of your big listeners of the show, famous listeners, is Chuck D from Public Enemy.
Yes.
I did hear you got a shout out in his latest book. Is that correct?
I do. It's up on. You can see the picture on Instagram at Termine Radio, at TERMINE Radio. I wrote a nice little note and drew a picture of myself, and he's a very talented artist in addition to a musician. I mean, some people can do nothing like you, and some people like him can do many things at a very high level. So it was an honor. He listens to the show a lot, and he's got a new art book out. I think it's called Living Loud, and I've got it on the coffee table.
Oh wow, yeah. No, I would definitely like to check that out. I thought like when I heard about that, I'm like, man, that's a really big deal. It's
you'd like it. It's a picture book, so.
Yeah, I always do. Yeah, I could finish that at least in a month.
Yeah, exactly. Flipping through the pictures, it's got about 500 pages. Yeah, so I did give you about a month is fair.
Oh, exactly. And there a lot of these pictures are in color, and like I usually need that kind of stimulation.
Well, they're not in color. I'm sorry to. They're black and white. So.
Okay, that's fine as long as it's just the pictures in black and white, no words.
You could color them in if you'd like.
Oh, very, very nice. Yes, that would be ideal. But yeah, and that's somehow I should sell myself from now on. It's like Tom Murphy, not Chuck D.
I don't think you're going to have to worry about that. I think people know the difference.
Oh yeah, they're just like yes, like the levels of talent. It's just the opposite ends of the spectrum.
Get some more self-confidence. You're doing a great job on this podcast. So.
Oh, absolutely. Very happy. We're hoping to have you on often during the summer, depending on how well this one goes. We are going to, just did check with my producers. We're probably going to edit this entire show down to like all the times you don't insult me and the parts that I look good. So this will probably only be like a 4-minute episode.
There you go. The listeners will be able to make it from start to finish this time.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I'm all about brevity because, I just like simply, I kind of lose patience myself. So yeah, I kind of like to, get this down to like 40 minutes or depending if something's a little more interesting, we'll go longer.
Nice.
Unlike your show, I'd like to talk about the NBA Today on Sirius Radio. You have a 3-hour show and you do it daily during the week.
Yeah, Monday through Friday, 4 to 7 Eastern time with Eddie Johnson.
Yeah, Eddie Johnson, the 1989 Sixth Man of the Year Award.
Yeah. Wasn't good enough to start, but, came off the bench for 19 seasons in the NBA. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, here's the thing, like everything, this may surprise you. I've never listened to the show. It's not because I don't have time. It's just more to like lack of interest.
What? No. And here's what I'll say about like the difference between us as like friends. And I'm serious about this. Like we've joked around a lot up to this point, is like, I've listened to your podcast, correct? Which is great. I've gone to support some of the movies that you've made. I've acted in some of the movies that you've made where you've asked me to give up my free time in order to participate. You have access to my show. It's free on the NBA app, 4 to 7 Eastern time. All you have to do is download the app. And you've yet to make an effort to show any interest in my career. And it's something that's odd because Matthew Flynn, who's a mutual friend of ours, has gone out of his way to listen to my work. Ryan Shibley has gone out of the way to listen to my work, and many others have as well. So I'm glad to know that you've not made any effort whatsoever in the time that we've known each other to show just a modicum of interest in my career. I take that as a huge compliment.
Okay, yeah. So the NFL draft is in 2 weeks. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
That's funny.
I'm kidding. It's like you make some valid points. I do appreciate that you have listened to the podcast, and I actually do believe you. You are very supportive. I have actually seen your clips because you have been on. I know Fox 5.
Yeah,
talking about Knicks and such, and we do joke around a lot. That's mainly what I've seen of you in your element, and you are very good. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I definitely know why you're a huge success with Sirius Radio, and it's you do have me on something there. I have not listened to your show. I was mainly making the joke. I will.
I mean, I don't necessarily find that to be funny. I find you to be very funny, Thomas. It's why I keep you around as a friend. I don't find that to be funny. I find it to be sad and disturbing that you don't support your friend.
It's 3 hours though, and I really, I don't. I'll definitely listen in, like, kind of when you get close to the draft, because
I mean, I never said, like, Tom, tune in, listen for 3 hours. Okay, how about 30 seconds? You know what I mean? Like, let me see what this is all about. Let me listen for a segment, something of that nature.
Well, I have looked. I have checked out your work on the news, but no, you are right, and I should be more supportive because you are supportive. I've never been supportive of your work. I've only been supportive of your running, as you know. And,
exactly. No, and I've I'm aware, Tom. Thank you. You've actually gone out and run with me before. We could tell the story about how a couple of years ago we went out for a walk. I mean, not even a run. Okay, not even a run. We went out for a long walk, and this clown had to go home with a boo-boo on his foot. He got a blister, and he's like, I'm going to have to cut the walk short, and he left.
We were at 40. I know I was at 42,000 steps. Here's one thing I will say. We are, Justin's actually a long-distance runner, or was.
I was, until I hurt my back.
Yeah, it would be hard to do. It would be hard to do that. And we're both getting older. I use excuses. You're allowed to as well.
Well, what's your excuse? I got a bad back. What's yours?
Mine's just like I don't feel like it.
Yeah. So you got bad willpower. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But we were going to go break at least my record of 61,000 steps in a day.
Yeah.
And we decided to do this. I think it was the Sunday it was Saturday, Memorial Day weekend. If I remember correctly, it was like 95 degrees that day. It was scorching hot, and we did a good amount of walking. We walked like the entire, from like almost 100th West Street after crossing through Central Park, down the Hudson River.
Yeah.
We stopped to get a beer.
That was a mistake because as soon as we started drinking, it.
Yeah, I mean, and I think we weren't like pounding beers. I think we had one beer.
Yeah.
And I think it's like, it gave me a time to stop. And I realized, I'm like, man, my feet are kind of like a little sore. And I was kind of unaware at the time. I think, especially the left one was swelling immensely.
Yeah. So it was similar. Like, we each had our maladies that day. You were walking to my right? So your left foot hurt. My right ear was in significant pain because we were talking the entire time.
That took me a second.
Yeah.
Yeah. But and then I think we stopped, and at one point I kind of like rolled my ankle, and it like started to hurt more. And I was like, "Well, you have to stop." We got another beer, and at that point, when we stopped that second time, like I literally could not walk on it anymore. It's like my left foot was just completely swollen. To like when I got home, I couldn't even take the train. I had to take an Uber from around the NYU area. I think that's where we got to. Cut it short at 42,000, and you were still giving me shit, and I still remember it was, oh my God, it was excruciating pain. It took me like 5 minutes to walk from just like the walkway from where the car dropped me off to my front door of my building.
Yeah.
And it was like, it was just excruciating.
I'm going to be back east here for a significant amount of time. We should get together for a weekend and see if you can do a little bit better this time. Do you think you could?
Absolutely. I think I might have to Yeah, I may have to check my footwear because I think I may have been wearing sandals, which was not a good idea. And I'll just
Sandals to walk that distance. What does that tell about your mindset? Were you planning to do a massive walk, and instead of wearing running shoes or walking shoes, you're wearing sandals?
I'm gonna guess that's what I was wearing. I can't remember. That was
I would hope you wouldn't do a walk like that wearing sandals.
oh yeah. Well, I think you did it in shoes with no socks because that's your style. I believe you
I
were
don't
doing.
think I would do that.
And I'm
That
pretty
would
sure
be
you were.
insane.
I'm pretty sure you were not wearing socks, and I thought that was a little odd. But you actually broke my record. I think in France, you said
Yeah.
France, and you crushed my record. Of
Yeah,
60.
I walked over 80,000 steps in
That's
France,
insane. I
in
almost can't.
Paris. Yeah.
Must have been like you must have been doing that from like 6 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Yeah, I went from like 7 in the morning until after midnight. I got home after midnight.
Oh wow, that's
I stopped for a couple of beers.
yeah. That's another thing. We may have to cut the beers out. I know how much you enjoy drinking, and
Well, with you, I need to because if I'm not drinking, then I'm listening to all your complaints sober, and it's very difficult.
yes, I understand. It's a toleration thing. But
Usually, like when I hang out with my buddies, they're complaining about their wives or their kids. You're complaining about your parents, my mom, this, my dad, that. I mean, that's why we got to get you the girlfriend, right?
it's like hanging out. Yeah, I actually do. I have been with a young lady for almost 6 months now.
Really?
She has great eyesight. Actually had laser surgery, so there's no excuse there. She finds me pleasant. She finds me pleasant on the eyes. Justin,
Thomas, I don't believe
there's an
it.
uncomfortable silence. You did not know.
Well, I don't believe it. I mean, we've always had a relationship of honesty, and now I know you're BSing me because there's no way that could be true.
All right. Yes, well, you can make it to meet her, and eventually. Yeah, no. So I will. You do like you have made valid points. I'm not very familiar with the NBA. I used to be as a kid. It's almost like the opposite. Your life is pretty much really revolves around the NBA because just not even the NBA. You go to Europe usually once a year, right, for the summer league? Is that right?
No, it's the summer league is in Las Vegas, so I go to Las Vegas for the summer league. Yes, Europe. I just go to gallivant and bar hop and check out historic sites and try and make love to the European women. But no, the summer league's in Las Vegas.
I know exactly. It's one thing. I'm still in the learning process. Eventually, I'm going to have to make a note, like do more research on guest topics.
Yeah, exactly. Like you have a guest on, you research a little bit about their background.
Just a little
common practice, yeah.
No, yeah. It's like I was able to pronounce your name correctly.
That was good, which is better than most.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And but no, I mean, yes, obviously it's a very popular show. Eddie Johnson, I imagine he seems like a really nice guy, very, very pleasant. It seems like it's probably a very good balance, good balance between you and him.
Yeah, I mean, if you watched it or listened to it just once, you would not say that about Eddie. But
I did actually listen. I did listen for a little bit, but during the pandemic, you guys did a Instagram live story.
Oh yeah, so you saw that.
Oh yeah, I did watch for about 10 minutes. So yeah, now we can say that no, you're both very good. But remember, you did notice that I had come on, and you had said, "Is just like, oh yeah," it's like Eddie, say hi to that fat piece of shit Tom Murphy who just joined us. And exactly. Eddie was like, I most certainly will not say that. Because
so what does that say about you as well? That we're getting like hundreds of people to do those Instagram lives, like get on and watch, and the one person I chose to mock. Out of all the dumb people that came up on the Instagram live, very, very stupid people, and I picked you as the guy to mock. What does that say about you and what I think about you?
I'm honored, and it's I don't know. It's I must have that sort of trigger on you somehow because I know you do have a lot of feelings about a lot of people, and your filter, which you usually have on pretty tight, just completely comes off when it comes to me.
Yeah, exactly. I just I can't help myself, but let people know what I really think about you, which is not much.
Oh yeah, and At the very least, you keep listening to the show. Hopefully, I can turn you into a Bills fan, even if you're only listening, to find more fuel to, ridicule me. Hopefully,
I
it'll
do say that I do watch these. I do watch the games and root for the Bills because of you. So I do watch the games
yeah.
and root for you. So I'm sorry it has not worked out yet.
Oh yeah. Well, actually, we're as many know, the past season did not go the way we had hoped, or the past few. But at least we're in that position now, where we are
I like
actually.
Josh Allen.
Oh, of course. Oh, how could you not? He seems like your type of guy.
I love him. Big fan.
Oh yeah, he kind of has moves like an NBA or like a basketball player, somewhat. He likes to do the juking and everything. But yeah, we went 17 years without one playoff appearance, and we were just pretty much like a bland team, for a decade and a half. It's like now, even though still haven't won that Super Bowl, we actually now have a team that we're very proud of, and
Yeah.
really,
And just to speak to Thomas's diehard fandom is even when the team stunk, this guy was living and dying with each and every loss. I mean, he would wear it on his sleeve where, you would be 0-3 at the beginning of a season, and it was just impossible to speak with you. It was impossible to get you to go out and enjoy yourself. You were drinking yourself into a stupor. It was very difficult to watch. So you are a diehard fan. Your week is basically made or broken by whether they win or lose.
Oh yeah, I do take pride in that fact. But to be honest, I'd love to say there are a lot of fans of certain teams that like to prove that I'm a bigger fan because of such and such. But I think that tends to be true for many Bills fans. We're still watching that team when we're 2-7.
Well, you guys are jumping through tables. Have you jumped through a table to prove your fandom?
Oh God, no! It's I'm kind of careful of heights. I'm pretty sure I could break a table. Like I'm not worried about just hitting that surface. And
I mean, you could break a table with the amount of food you put on your plate when you put it down on the table for dinner. I've seen some of the helpings that you get to the table with. How about set yourself on fire? Have you done that yet?
Yeah. No self-immolation for me. It's if I ever decide to do that, I may give you the honors and give you the match.
I do have to say that we do have a big Bills bar out by me in Hermosa Beach, California. Huge Bills bar, and those people go nuts. You must have been out there as well. Did you play week one, the Rams last year?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that was the Thursday night football.
The Bills fans traveled out there more so, I think, than any other fan the entire year.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Oh, they tend to do that. There are a lot of. It's a reason the city of Nashville kind of hates us, because when we had a series of it was 3 years in a row where we were playing down in Nashville.
Yeah.
And it's just, we'd overrun that stadium. People were saying it was like 60%, 40% Bills fans in that stadium. And I think it was actually pretty close in Los Angeles. I know some of the Rams were kind of upset, like they were the defending champs, and this was their,
it was the whole city was overrun with, down by Hermosa Beach, because we're about 10 miles from the stadium. So people stay down there on the beach and then they go to the game. So, I would say the Bills fan was the fan that overtook that area the most the entire year.
Oh, I've definitely heard that. And I know, it was, and especially it being week one and our high expectations, I did know, I knew a lot of people who went to Los Angeles, and it's kind of funny. It's how people in Buffalo usually see the country. It's like they usually don't do this during the summer on their own thing. Like, oh, let's go see Mount Rushmore. Let's go see the Grand Canyon. They're like, oh, let's go see Seattle because the Bills are going to be playing there, and it gives us an opportunity to see a new city. But oh yeah, no, I'm glad, and we're actually, I think we're pretty respectful guests in other people's cities. I hope you didn't have any bad run-ins with Bills fans during that week.
No, I mean, perfect. I mean, I had a couple over my house. It was very fun.
Oh, did you?
Oh, yeah. No, I'm just being sarcastic.
Yeah, I was going to say, I couldn't imagine you inviting strangers.
Is she a Bills fan, this girl that you're dating?
She tries to be. What she understands. She is from Brazil, so.
Oh, she is. Wow.
Oh yeah. So she's unfortunately, I think the only Bill she knows is Damar Hamlin because his name was kind of became like worldwide.
Not Bruce Smith, not Jim Kelly, not.
Oh no, wait, oh yeah, no, she wouldn't. No, she's also 35. So like, even if even if
Thomas 35.
Yeah, I'm not that far removed from 35.
I don't know about that. Have you been down to Brazil yet?
I have not.
Have you met her family?
No, that does not happen yet. Still in the early stages. So
you're 6 months in. You're 44. You got to get it picked up. You gonna have kids with her or what?
To your own admission, I'm not. I'm still 43. So not a child.
That's right. But you kept talking about how you're almost 44. I got confused.
Oh yes, exactly. Whatever gives me more distance between you. And but yes, moving on.
Which is what she's going to be doing in a couple of weeks, I would assume.
Oh yes. All right. I'll have to edit that out for her sake. So don't need to be giving anybody any ideas. But so you're actually, even though you cover the entire NBA.
Yeah.
You do have an affinity for the Boston Celtics. It's 2 weeks in a row we've had Celtics fans on our podcast because our good friend Matt Flynn, last week,
big Celtic fan.
Yeah, as are you. Yeah, so you've actually got to interview a few of your greats, a lot of your heroes growing up. I know you have you've interviewed Larry Bird at least once, right?
Yes, Larry Bird. One of the thrills was a couple of weeks ago. I was hosting a show solo, and the material apparently was so good that Kevin McHale called in. So Kevin McHale just heard what I was talking about. He wanted to chime in. I've talked to Bill Walton. I've talked to Danny Ainge. I've talked to Robert Parrish, the chief, Cedric Maxwell, John Havlicek, Bob Cousy, Bill Russell, Sam Jones, Satch Sanders. So I've talked to basically all the all-time great Celtics. Oh yeah.
It is funny. I got to meet Robert Parrish very briefly when I was a teenager because yes, as you may know, I went to high school in Massachusetts in a town called Milton. And I think someone my mom worked with had like access. It was like this really small like charity thing. Yeah. And my mom was able to bring myself and one of my friends to this thing where a bunch of Celtics. It was kind of right after Bird had retired. So 92. It was. I think that actually sounds about right. Maybe Parrish was either still on the team or had just retired, but he was at this thing. It was the big star of the team at that time was Dino Radja, if you remember him. And I was very excited because I always loved college basketball, and I was a Celtics fan too. I still root for them, even though I just don't. I don't have time to really follow the NBA. Well, but you got 16 Bills games. How could you find the time? Oh, exactly. Yeah, and now a girlfriend. So I mean, 16 Bill games, a girlfriend. Exactly. I mean, my plate is already full, as you know. A part-time job. I mean. Yes, this and this podcast that takes hours a day. With all my research that I did on you, and I still don't even know half your story. Exactly. For a friend, which you should naturally pick this stuff up. Oh yeah, exactly. And I'm probably going to forget too. Probably this summer, I'm like, "Hey, are you back from Europe for work?" They're like, "What are you talking about?" Exactly. But, I'll probably say, "No, I'm still over here, just so I don't have to hang out with you." But I remember, like, I really wanted to get, I had basketball cards with me, and I think I had a couple other like things of memorabilia that I wanted to get signed. And Dino Radja, I remember, was completely unapproachable. He liked to smoke. If you offered him a pack of cigarettes, you probably would have got it. Oh yeah, I think I was like 13 or 14 at the time. So it's so you were unwilling to part with a pack because you were so. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I needed my rights back then. Yeah. So yeah, I grew up in Southie. It's usually by 14, pretty much you're getting your throat removed because you've been smoking your whole. I wish your throat was removed. I wouldn't have had to listen to you for the last 45 minutes. Oh, I know. Yeah, that's these 45 minutes you'll never get back because my voice is just as clear as the night is blue. if that's the same.
That's not how I would describe it, Thomas. But
But and also the future of the Celtics, as I thought, was also there. He was a rookie drafted 19th overall, and I felt like he was a steal. Remember AC Earl?
yes, yeah, no, I do. Unfortunately, yeah.
Oh, do you? Yeah, it was. Yeah, I guess he didn't really pan out, but yeah, I waited in line to get my picture with him, and I think I still have this picture, and it's me, smiling all bit, and you can just see this guy's just totally phoning it in. He just like leans into this picture with this kid, just like
Not into it.
like just not even like it was like his mouth was like it almost looked like he was like just completely
Just he glazed over. He was dazed. He was
oh absolutely yeah.
emotions.
Yeah, and it just kind of seemed like a lot of the players, they were just there to show up. Like I was under this like impression, like, oh God, I'm going to get to meet all these Celtics and everything.
Yeah.
But Dennis Johnson was very nice, the late Dennis Johnson, and I think he may have been a coach at the time. He definitely wasn't playing. And I guess my mom, like a coworker of my mom, who had like the connections to the thing, was just kind of like, it's like have him come up to like this VIP area, like me and my friend.
Yeah.
And we were able to go up and just meet Robert Parrish, and he was just so gracious and so nice. And yeah, no, that was kind of like that was the big highlight of the day. And he signed my basketball card, shook my little hand with that like monstrous, like his hands.
Oh, he's a good interview. You never would think it, like watching, because they called him a chief. He never smiled, but he's.
Oh no, he was very. Yeah. Oh yeah, no, he was very, very smiley and very.
You should get him on the next podcast.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, this is the jumping point, I'm thinking of asking Eddie Johnson for the next two.
I could hook that up.
Oh yeah, is Eddie a football fan?
Eddie's a Bears fan, yes.
I think I saw he went to University of Illinois. And he'd be great. The draft coming up. And oh man, that's Eddie Johnson, I'd be a little intimidated by him. Unlike you, this is just like, nothing intimidating about this interview. But somebody as famous as your co-host Eddie Johnson.
Yeah, well, he's not quite. I mean, I'm sure more people know who I am than him.
No, I'm kidding. He seems like a really nice guy. I like the way he defended me when you were just completely verbally.
In all fairness to him, he would not have done that if he knew who you were or anything about you.
Yeah, exactly. He's gonna retract that. 3 years after the fact is just like I remember I defended your friend Thomas Murphy when you were.
Now that I have a better grasp of who he is and what he is about, I want to make sure on the record that that was a mistake.
Oh yeah, Justin completely I thought he was being mean by calling him a fat piece of shit, but like I met Tom and he is a fat piece of shit.
Exactly. And I was being nice, I felt.
Yeah, it's about as nice as you've ever been. It's I don't know. I'm just used to it. I always do, despite your animosity. I do find you often very entertaining, like for sure.
Well, thank you, Thomas. That means a lot coming from you.
Ah, yes, it means something. But yeah, so I had mentioned jokingly the NFL draft is coming up. You do a lot of work with the NBA draft.
Yes, I do, Thomas. I'll be there in New York. In fact, I'm going out to the lottery and the combine in May. I'm going to Chicago, and then I'll be up in New York in June. I believe that's the last time I actually saw you. I did the draft on a Thursday night, and then on a Friday night, you and I went out to dinner and talked about a bunch of different hypotheticals.
Yeah, no, it was. I mean, I tend to remember all of them. Yes, exactly. Yeah, that is right. This last time, yes, we. That's when we met at the restaurant,
the Italian joint.
Exactly. I was thinking of another time.
Pasta Lovers, right by SiriusXM.
Oh yes,
that was a good meal, huh?
It was absolutely fantastic. I'd like to go back there again.
Who paid for that?
No, that would be you.
Yeah, no, for your birthday. I got it for your birthday gift.
Oh, is that what it was? Oh, I thought I ate, and then it was just like I'm going to the bathroom, and I thought I just like slipped out around the corner.
No, I did that for your birthday.
I did appreciate that. No, you were, and then you were trying to buy me beers at the next bar we went to, and I was just like, enough is enough. It was.
Yeah, no, you took a stand there. You're very proud, a proud person.
Very proud, yes.
And buying me stuff.
And I think I looked you dead in the eye, and I was just like, no, Justin, I don't want to owe you anything.
Exactly. No, I do recall that now. I was pretty blitzed, but I do remember you saying that.
Yeah, no, it was very nice, and it was it was a ton of fun, and yeah, so we'll have to get together again when you come out for the draft. The draft is always in New York City, right?
Yes, it's always on a Thursday night at the end of June in New York City.
Excellent. So
I'm going to see you that Friday.
yes, exactly. I mean, unless something better comes up.
But I'm on the East Coast now, Thomas, for a little while here, so I might be able to pop up on a weekend prior to the draft if you're available. I know you got a very busy schedule with the podcast and the female companion, and
oh, absolutely,
you're working twice a week.
Yes, exactly. But I'm sure I could find, I could always find time for you.
Oh, anything for a free meal.
You are, yeah, exactly. Yes, you are one of the most genuine acquaintances. Let's cut the shit. We're friends.
Everybody's got an opinion, like they say, right?
Yes, but say I'm actually getting the 2-minute warning here from the producers here, who Court and Harry. We got to talk to them beforehand.
You could have warned me. I was going to have to do that, by the way.
No, it's sorry. Well, I
thought I was just going to talk to you, and then I got to deal with Court and Harry. That was not a good surprise.
Yes, and I also know you probably have to get back to your Easter dinner, even though your family is just probably really enjoying this time of peace and tranquility. What Easter's about.
Yeah, I'm back, just like Jesus on Christmas. I am back.
Oh man, he's risen from the dead of his microphone, and so we have again to all of our listeners. It was a very uneventful week for the Bills. We have the draft coming up in 2 weeks. We're going to have plenty on that before then. So our trivia, Justin, for next week, with your vast knowledge of Bills trivia. Everyone knows, it's a known fact, Bruce Smith is the all-time leading sack king in Buffalo history. Who is number 2 on that list?
Number 2 in sacks?
Yeah.
Jim Kelly.
Jim Kelly. Wow, that would be really sad if he were number 2 on that list. No, you are wrong. And but to find out, you will have to listen.
Who is it then?
No, you're going to find out next week when you.
So you don't know who it is either, then?
Yes, that's what I do. I give these.
No. You're taking the easy way out. You mocked me for not knowing who it is. At least I guessed, and you don't even know. That's really bush league.
Why would I give a trivia question that I'm hoping people will have the opportunity to answer for themselves? And I think that would be pretty egotistical of me to be like,
bleep it out. Answer it and then bleep it out. You got great producers.
Oh, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it when we get off from here. And no, for those who couldn't see me, I was acting like I was looking up
the answer
on Google. But I do know the answer. Once we cut out here, I will give you the answer.
Thank you.
Yes, exactly. You don't think I know it, do you?
No,
that's what I do here.
I don't think you know. I don't think you know anything. Unfortunately, you knew my number, but
yeah, I just come up with random trivia questions and be like, I got to find the answer out to that by next week. It's actually very easy. That's actually a pretty easy method. Like I take all of this effort during the week to come up with a good trivia question. And then, but I also, in order to do that, I have to come up with the answer too.
That took you all week to come up with who's second in sacks in Bills history?
I was actually working on it previously that week. It was, I was kind of walking up and down the pier. Like, what's a good trivia question for when Justin's on the show?
No. Then you got a blister on your foot.
Yes, exactly. My foot started swelling up, and I was like, ow, Uber. My God, after 3,000 steps today. Oh, God. Need to rest these puppies. But, yes, so Justin, Termine, thank you once again. Very much appreciate having you on, and look forward to having you on again.
Let's not push it.
Yes, okay. Fantastic. Once again, Justin Termine, he's the host of NBA Today on Sirius Radio, airing weekdays, 4 to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm going to start listening.
You can watch it now, Thomas. We're on the NBA app, so you can now watch it for free.
I definitely think you're more built for audio.
The audio medium?
The audio medium, yes.
Yeah.
So I can look at like almost anything else. I could look at like a steaming pile of trash while I listen to your show, or I can watch like a violent train wreck, as opposed to, I just think that the audio portion is.
No, that's fine. I mean, I'm meant for audio. You're meant for the written word, and there you go.
We're not even, yes. Well, we will just, with that note, it's been a pleasure. I have many friends, but few better, Justin Termine.
Wow, that's what I anticipated. I have a lot more friends, but I'd expect to be at the top of your list. You're down my list a little bit.
It's about quality, not quantity.
I'm better liked. Yep.
Absolutely. And Bills Mafia, thank you again for tuning in. And let's go, Buffalo! Thanks again for listening to Buffalo Bills or Bust. Remember to like and subscribe. Leave a comment, and let's go, Buffalo! Buffalo Bills or Bust has been a Samurai Dinosaur production. Copyright 2023.